Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to Easeloft. This is an indie fighting game that is currently under development that is such a spectacle to see that footage of it, combos, setups will occasionally take off on Twitter and get a lot of traction and get a lot of views. And the comments are always like, man, I really can't wait for this game to come out. It looks so fun. And I can't wait for this game to come out either. But what many of those people don't realize is that this game is available if you support the development of the game over on Patreon for just $5 a month. So we have a pretty active community. I'm going to post the link to both the Patreon, the developer's website, and also our Discord for the game down in the description below. I highly recommend checking those out. We've got a decent little sizable community, and I want to say this game does have rollback netcode. So you can hop in. It's also got public lobbies. So there's none of that like peer-to-peer, like sharing your IP address with other people or joining our admin server. There's none of that. You just join the USA lobby, join the Japanese lobby, you're good to go. Super sick. We've got a decently sized community. We're getting more people every day. And for this past week or so, I've seen multiple people playing matches in the public servers basically every night, which has been really, really cool to see. But I think this game is so much fun to play and so much fun to see that I would really like to see even more people playing to get even more match footage sort of circulating and get people sort of excited for it. So this is a 2D anime fighting game that is probably most similar to Guilty Gear in terms of its design. I know the developer is a really big Guilty Gear fan, and I would say it probably plays most similar to Guilty Gear Xrd in terms of its overall pacing and character design. The control scheme looks a little bit like this if you're on a stick. So ABC across the top is basically your light, medium, and heavy. D is a sort of unique button that can do different things for different characters. It has a bunch of attacks associated with it. But 2D is usually a sweep, so I have elected to put that where I would put my dust button usually. And F is a special button. It's your fatal button. So it's a special mechanic. You're going to be pushing F alongside the other four buttons a lot because it's basically a button that modifies whatever else you're pushing at that time. So if you were playing on like a pad, on like a controller, I would recommend having A, B, C, and D on the face buttons. It's like ABC across the top and then D on either X on PlayStation or A on Xbox, that bottom button. And then putting your F on one of the shoulder buttons so that you're able to push the face buttons along with the shoulder button at the same time. That would be my recommendation. So in terms of overall pacing, I don't really play this character, so be patient with me. But in terms of overall pacing, it's going to look really familiar to anybody who plays Guilty Gear, especially those older ones. You have your IADs, you have your double jumps, all that sort of stuff. You can do Gatlings and to knock people down and a big fireball, right? That's all going to look pretty normal to you. So what sets this game apart? First, you have this wrist gauge. So this is like a guard meter, right? So as I hit the opponent, you notice their guard meter goes down. That's pretty normal. However, the guard meter has pips in it. And if you notice when I backdash, I lose an entire pip. So it sort of punishes the opponent for wanting to move away too much. The other thing is that you'll notice we're both gaining passive meter right now, and we also gain meter when we approach each other. So very similar to Guilty Gear, it's a game that wants to reward you with meter and resources for being aggressive and for approaching the opponent. The other thing about this wrist gauge is that you can lose a pip if you're mashing at incorrect timings on defense. So as an example, right now I have this Tay set to run up and do this airtight block string. There's no gap in this string. And you notice that when she does this, I only lose a little bit of my guard bar. I lose like maybe 30% of one pip. But if I were to, like, let's say I'm a new player, I don't really know where the gap is, so I'm just kind of mashing 2A, hoping that it comes out at some point. If I just start mashing 2A, look how much guard bar I lost. I lose a pip every time I mash 2A, and there wasn't a gap there to actually mash 2A in. So that's just another thing to be aware of. So I think the real game seller, the real claim to fame is going to be this fatal mechanic. I mentioned earlier that you have a fatal button, you push it along with any other input, you get a fatal version of the move. So here's 5C, here's fatal 5C. Whoa, big difference, right? But let's just talk about what fatal does innately first. First, fatal makes pretty much anything that you fatal cancelable into almost anything. So I have a DP here, right? And if I do a DP, then I can't do anything. Twirling the stick, I'm mashing the buttons, I can't do anything, right? It's a DP, I'm in recovery. But if I fatal the DP, not only I could air jump after it, I could air dash back, I could do an air special, I could just do a falling normal, right? You could cancel it into pretty much anything, which is already crazy. Another thing is that fatal makes whatever move you're doing invincible after the third frame. So even if it wasn't this DP, I could still give invincibility to another move. So, for example, my main has this like really long range command grab. I could, if I fatal it, I make it invincible from the third frame up to basically whenever it's active. So it's a way you don't get to fatal things and just make them DPs, because like if I was waking up and my opponent was doing a meaty, it's not invincible on frame 1. It's only invincible after frame 3. So you can't make things DPs, but you can give things invincibility frames to sort of like force them through, get through projectiles, sort of win out neutral situations where you would have otherwise traded, stuff like that. But the other really key thing is that Fatal can it can change the way that certain moves work. So, for example, this is jump 5C, right? Main's jump 5C, great move, right? Just innately. That was fucked up in itself. It just crossed up and I was plus 13. That was already crazy. So, how do you make this move even better? Well, I would say having a projectile that lingers on the screen would probably be like one way that I could make it better. If I was a fucking insane person. What is this? You've got Jump D, right? Jump D is cool. Jump Fatal D is way bigger. Whoa. Here's 236A, right? It's just a little fireball. Like that's pretty cute. Here's Fatal 236A. Whoa. What happened there? So, Fatal, oh, right. Air 236A, right? Got this little projectile. That's cute, right? You could, oh, wow. Right? Oh, well, that's charming. What the fuck is that? You get 3 projectiles and immediate air actions? And that was invincible when it came out. So, Fatal does a lot for you. It's really, really good. It doesn't work in the same way that like a YRC would work. So in something like Exerd, a lot of your meter would be spent on YRC, which you would basically use to like put out a projectile and then immediately recover, so that you could either pressure behind the projectile, it just added a lot of safety and protection to whatever you were doing. In this game, you're not layering projectiles in the same way. That's not really how this works. Instead, you're using this Fatal as like, it does a bunch of different things for different characters. So yeah, I think it's a really, really fun and really cool mechanic. In terms of other universal mechanics, on 5BC you have this parry. You notice that if I just tap it, it doesn't cost basically anything. Like the meter doesn't go down and my guard bar doesn't go down, nothing goes down, right? It's a parry. But if I hold it, which you can hold, both the meter starts to drain, very fast by the way, and also your guard bar starts to drain. So really risky to hold. If somebody tries to throw you, you're not going to be able to tech. That's pretty important to know. But yeah, it's just another defensive mechanic that you have. The other defensive mechanic that you have is you could spend a bar and push 2 BC, so down in B and C, and you do this move. And this is basically just a 1 bar DP that is universal. Everybody has access to it. Everybody gets a DP. Yay! It costs a bar. Boo. There is also this little orange square that is in the bottom center of the screen. This is just your burst. So once per round, boom, you have access to a burst. It's consumed. You can't get it back within the same round, but you will get one every single round that you play. There you go. All right, I want to talk a little bit about the characters that are available. But before I do, I want to reiterate, this is a game that is currently in active development. Assets are not done being worked on. So I'm going to be talking about how far along some of these characters are. But just to say it again, you should not support this game expecting it to be like a full, complete, bugless experience. Part of the fun of this is seeing how these characters evolve and shape up over time, being able to be a part of that conversation and sort of helping to push this game in the correct direction, reporting bugs, that sort of thing. So yeah, just putting that out there again. You're not paying a subscription to play a complete game. You're giving a donation to support something, and our ability to play this game is like incidental, right? It's part of it, right? So what are the characters? The characters that are the furthest along and are basically functionally complete are Main, Cecil, Siska, Qdora, Tina, and Tai. You notice that there is a completion rate bar that is up in the top left, and that's fairly accurate. A lot of these characters, these 6, are basically done and are just receiving like little updates here and there to their gameplay to either like remove bugs, to patch up things, to give them new routes, right? Like whatever. These characters receive small changes here and there, but the bulk of the development is either on systems or the other 4 characters that are here. The other character that is the furthest along is Yagabi. He is also the most recent character that Free has been working on. And he's not all the way done. There are still some animations that don't render just because they haven't been made yet. But he's really, really cool. I think he's super interesting. And we will talk about what these characters do in a moment. Alcott is quite far away. As you see, it has a completion rate of 30%. I believe he's getting a complete rework, so he is a little bit further down the pipeline. Saving Tina, I honestly really like the way that this character played like 2 patches ago, but Free is currently experimenting and just did a massive overhaul on how this character works, and I don't understand it at all right now. So I'm gonna need a little bit of time, and I also have to give Free a little bit of space to cook with this character and see what is going on with her. But she could either be mostly complete, as that bar up there implies, or entirely like we're in a fresh new territory right now. Serena, you'll notice this is a 2D model, and it's because Serena is basically just ported from the previous Easeloft game. If you're not familiar, this is Easeloft 2. So Serena is currently also undergoing a major overhaul. She's going to get a completely new model. She's going to be aged up quite a bit. I assume that she'll be fighting in a very different way because she has a very different weapon than she does right here. She's fighting with like a lamppost, kind of like Jax from League of Legends. So I think that's going to be really cool. But again, this is a character that's in the pipeline. It's quite a ways away, but really looking forward to her. Really like this character in the previous game. Now, I don't play all of these characters, so I can't go very in-depth with them, but I do want to very quickly, very surface level, sort of cover like what's cool or what's interesting about each of these characters. So Main's main gimmick is that he leaves these fire trails on the ground that enhance the way that his various moves work. So again, I called it out earlier in this video, but he has this 236P, which is just this little orb that sits there, and I called out that his Fatal has this extended fireball thing. But what I didn't mention is that Fatal property is a property that you can get without spinning meter by being on flames that are on the ground. So if I do this 6H move to put a puddle under me, and then I do 236A, you'll notice that I get the enhanced version of this move. Many of Main's moves get enhanced whenever he is on that fire puddle. So a super like this that just puts a bunch of puddles on the ground makes his pressure a lot better. And yeah, I mean, that's the really major thing he's got going on. He's got this projectile, which is really good. Fatal 236A in the air is really just incredibly dumb. This move is plus. This is 214A. You have 214B, which is this this slide that we talked about earlier. Did we talk about that earlier? I think I cut that footage. 214B, which is this ranged command throw. Yeah, motherfucker. 214C, which is like a ranged harassment tool, which is just incredibly fucked up. It also leaves a puddle under you, so that can be pretty good. If the opponent's back is to the wall, it can be really nice because the advantage on this is quite nice. You see I'm +9, even though I'm a little ways away from her. So, very, very good move. And then you have 226C, which is just this DP. Other big call-out moves, you have on your D button, you have 6D, which is a really good way to cover a lot of aerial space. This move is programmed to not hit anybody that is on the ground, but if the opponent is jumping, you basically can get a free combo off of it. Right. So yeah, those are the things that make Main really cool. He's probably going to be most similar to like a Soul and a Holy Order Soul type character. Hitting really hard, has all the tools that he really needs. Maybe not like the best range tools in the game, but tons of ways to get in, tons of ways to mix the opponent up between strike throw, between left right, between high low, and lots of advantage frames in situations like that. So really cool character. I really like him a lot. Next character we'll talk about is Cecil. This is your speed demon character. So this movement that we have right here, I'm not double tapping anything. I'm just pushing left and right. This is his walk speed, okay? If you double tap, you get these, right? These little hops. This character is incredibly fast. He has really, really good pressure. He's got these projectiles he can put out. He's got this dash that goes into different follow-ups. So he's got that follow-up, he's got this follow-up, he's got the projectile follow-up. When the opponent is in the corner, I forget how you do this. When the opponent is in the corner, you can throw these at the wall, and then they'll slide down and bonk people. That's really fucked up, especially because they're not able to like jump up and stuff like that. You also have this projectile, so you can do like aerial strings and then drop that on people as Oki. That's really dumb. And yeah, he is just this really, really fast character. He's got moves like this, which have a delayed hitbox like that would hit people. So let's see if I can... Yeah, I see it made contact there. So he is sort of like this really fast ninja type character who doesn't have the best air movement. Like I can't air dash, right? So I kind of have to move really fast on the ground and finesse my way in. But you know, you have good tools for finessing your way in, and really good pressure tools to make sure that once you get on top of the opponent, you're never going to let up on them. So yeah, this is probably for like your chip players. Really, again, really fast, really low health pool, very squishy. Not the squishiest in the game, but yeah, that's Cecil. That's what I got. Siska is going to be your left-right cross-up character for any of you Milia players out there. The real thing that makes Siska so fucked up is just that you can dash through people, which is crazy. 5A is also a low. You notice that she has to crouch block this. So that's toxic. And the other thing is that you have like this sigil that you can put on people that has a delayed detonation. So a lot of what you'll end up doing, and this is just like a very simple thing. I kind of play this character, but there are other people who play this character better and know more about it than me. So if I just do like a very simple aerial combo into this dive, right? What side was I on? You let me know. All right, now check this out. Like, come on, man. This character's demonic. This character's a ton of fun. This move, I guess you could call it a demon flip. It has a bunch of different follow-ups. So it has A, where you can do that. It's got B, where you just sort of go back. It's got C, where you do like a horizontal slash. It's got 2C, where you do a down slash. It's got, I'm pretty sure, 6C, where you do that. I think there's a, yeah, there's 6B, where you dive down, which also goes through people, LMAO. What the fuck? Why is she allowed to do that? Like, come on, man. Anyway. This character's super tight. You also have 5D, which if you fatal it, is even more crazy. 5D will also put the sigil on them. Yeah, this is like the left-right mix-up character. When you hit somebody, you're probably not doing the most damage unless you like really optimize the shit out of this character. But it can be really difficult and really annoying to block these left-right mix-ups, and it can force people who would otherwise like even have a regular DP like a main to use something like 2BC just for the coverage that it gives you behind you, right? So left-right mix-up character. I think I've said that enough. Tai is super sick. She's like a kung fu lady with a motorcycle and some guns. It's pretty tight. Her major mechanic is she's able to go into this state where she has this this little meter on her. You see it's like counting down, right? And it's got the little, I don't know how to describe that effect around her feet. But in any case, she has two moves that put her into this state. It's 6C and 4-6C, which does this little dive kick version. Once you're in this state, you're basically trying to get these different chakrams. So you notice when I do this move, I get this little red one that orbits around me. When I do this, I get a blue one. If I do, what do I gotta do? I think that would give me a green one. I think that also gives me a green one, and this would give me the last one. Basically, you're trying to get 4 different chakrams. And if you get all 4 chakrams, then you're able to get an enhanced version of this move. So my route for this, which is not very optimal at all. Let's see if I can even do it. What the fuck even is my route? It's been so long. Oh, right. I remember. Oop. There we go. We get the enhanced gunshot. So it just does a lot of damage. It gives you a hard knockdown, and you're able to sort of get your party started. The other thing is you have this grenade. If you've played Exerd, you've seen this before, and you know how terrifying this motherfucker is. You have 2 grenade pulls, one that detonates after 3 seconds. I'm not sure if these are human seconds or Izlov seconds. I'm not positive. You also have the one that detonates in double the time. Both of them you can detonate early just by doing the input again. I don't know why they allowed you to do that. Tay is also a character that has a lot of like directional based moves. So like I have 5A and I have a 6A and I also have a 4A. I have 5B, but I also have 6B and I also have 4B. I have 5C, 6C, and 4C, and this doesn't even stop on the ground. I have I have jump B, I have jump 4B, I have jump 6B, I have jump 2B, and I think I have a jump 8B. I don't. You also have directional throws. So just grabbing somebody just looks at them like a Smash Brothers character. But I have down throw, boom. I have back throw, yeah. I have up throw, yeah. And I've got forward throw, yeah. So I think can I still fatal these? Maybe. No, I can't fatal them anymore. Used to be able to. It was pretty funny. But yeah, she's almost like a Smash Brothers character in that way, where she has like a bunch of different directional moves on basically any button that is going to give you a new result. But yeah, you're basically using these guns to try to trip people up. They all have really good hitboxes, so that's all good. You can also like fatal this and try to force your way in. You can get a combo off of that. She basically tries to like bulldog her way in, get the right hit, and then go into this stance, and then do whatever combo is going to get her into her enhanced shotgun, and get the hard knockdown, go for a grenade, go for a mix-up. Right. That's Tai. Really, really strong character and a ton of fun. Also, Ghost Rider bike. Hell yeah. Alright, Qudora's hella cool, but I know very little about how to play her. One thing you'll notice is that her walk speed is very slow, and when I double tap in a direction, she backdashes really quickly. But the double tap forward, you notice she has that little wind up. So she can feel kind of sluggish on the ground. She's very, very fast, right? Like that air dash is very quick. She has 2 of them, which is already pretty horrifying. And this ground dash is even fast. But it is a little tricky. You have to like sort of know that it has momentum on it, basically. But once you can get going, again, really fast character. She's able to put out these sigils, right? So I do this move, it puts out a sigil on top of her. You see the little dragon over there? You're able to do things like move those sigils around, you're able to detonate them, and all that type of jazz. I don't know enough about how you do it, really. I know, like, in the corner, you could do a route like this. Something. She also has Rekkas, so she's got 2 and 4A. That does a ground bounce, but she also has it on the ground. You can do that. And what else is there? Oh yeah, I think that detonates them. Yep, that detonates them. What is this one? You do, that's 236C, and then it waits, and then it detonates her. And I think it also detonates all of her sigils. Nope. 236C, I do this. Does it detonate the sigil as well? No. Okay. So, very interesting character. She has a lot of like... She's very squishy. She has as much life as Cecil. She has very fast movement, but it can be tricky to control her. She has these sigil setups that are also very involved. She's definitely a technician's character. I think she's a lot of fun to pilot and move around with, but god damn it, I just don't know enough about her to really talk about her here. Really cool character. Highly recommend checking her out. Don't know a ton about Tina either, but she is definitely one of the simpler characters. I've seen people do combos with this character inadvertently. So, let's see. Hell yeah. That's the shit I'm talking about. A zoning character that is kind of slow on her feet, but has really, really strong projectiles. You notice that she has a little bar down below her. She has to basically eat food to be able to regain the strongest of her projectiles. And that's pretty much her. Slow character, good projectiles, has to eat to continue to use them. That's Tina. Damn, is that food on the ground? Oh shit. I didn't even know she could do that. I need to play against this character more. Definitely, I think a good character for beginners. It does kind of suck that you can't move around too much, but because some of the combos that you're able to do is relatively easy, and the other stuff is just kind of throwing projectiles and eating pizzas, I think it can be a really easy character to sort of like just hop in and play a little bit. Yeah, definitely the cute Tina. and she's a lot of fun. I think she's really cool. Yagami is still in development, but we'll talk about him anyway. This is a charge character. One of the few charge characters we have, actually. Think about it. But he's got these really crazy, like, full screen slashes. He doesn't have a truly horizontal one, but these two are good enough, I promise. This air one is air unblockable, even though most things are air blockable. Crazy, 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 crazy. He also has this move. Ooh. Hello? Maybe he doesn't have that move. Am I bugging? Oh, no, that's what it is. This is 2-8A. Does it do anything when you fatal it? Oh, it puts out the little projectile. Oh, that's a little projectile. That's fucked up. Okay. My homie plays this character. I don't know the most about him. There is, let's see, 4-6C. This is like the shoulder tackle. This is really hard to interact with because it has armor. And I'm pretty sure you can get a combo after it. Though I don't entirely know how to do it. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. But yeah, he's something in between like a zoner and he's like this zoning type character that can sit in this mid-range and harass you with these moves. And then suddenly if he gets a sense of your timing, he can like sort of armor in and get an offense started that way. He is really interesting. I haven't really seen a character like this, so I don't know properly how to talk about him. Maybe most similar to Baiken. I think he has a parry somewhere. I don't remember how to do it. Maybe it's in the command list. He's got a parry somewhere, and I know that he has actions out of it, which sounds a lot like Baiken to me. Oh, he can cancel the stance. Oh, shit. Oh, during block stun, he can just do it without charging. Interesting. Is that what I was thinking of? Maybe he doesn't have... Clash starts up at parry. During block stun... Oh, and he has a DP on hold 2-8C. Nice. 2-bar super. Oh, shit. That looks really cool. Okay, sorry. I got distracted. I don't know if I'm putting this in the video, but yeah. Okay, so I don't think he has a parry state, but what he does have is the ability to do some of these charge specials without charging while he is blocking. He also seems to have some sort of meter down here. I don't really know how this meter works. I don't know what's going on with this. So, you play Yagami, you let me know. But, very cool character. I think he's tight. More defensive oriented, for sure. Alright, we're going to do a speed round for the unfinished characters. We have Serena. She's very fast. She does some running normals. She has moves that look like this, and like this, and like that. This puddle is especially fucked up because it creates a clone of you that does whatever moves you do, which means that you can combo people from literally full screen. That's absurd. That's really fucked up. But the other claim to fame is Serena is able to generate clones of herself to do her moves for her. So I showed you this move. If I don't want to do it myself, I just have my clone do it. Really crazy. Does it cost a resource? It does. It costs a bar. But it's really, really good. Right? You're able to do stuff like that. Yeah, I think you get the point. Really cool character. Alcott is a big, silly man who wears shades, smokes a doobie, and has a falcon knee. I don't really have to say anything else about this character, I'll be real. And Saving Tina, in previous iterations, she was... Damn, she's dodging a lot over there. Huh. Weird. Anyway, in previous iterations, she was basically like an Ino clone. She had like a hover dash like that, that she would do into things that honestly just looked exactly like Ino pressure. As you notice there now, she sort of stays in that flight mode so long as she has meter to actually do it. She has her own special flight meter. She uses it to fly. It's very fast. I have no idea how to control this character, and I've never seen any other character that acts this way in my entire life. So I've got no idea what this character's doing. You're gonna have to play her and figure it out for yourself. Sorry, lads. But yeah, that's Easeloff. Just to quickly talk about it, this challenge mode doesn't really work. It's, again, currently in development. If you try to do these combo trials, they're not fleshed out. It's just not ready yet. Training mode, tons of really great options there. You should be able to get anything you want out of that. And Versus Net, all you're going to do is literally come down here to lobby, go over to USA or Japan. Currently, no Europe or any other regions. That is unfortunate. You're just going to click connect to the lobby. You can set whatever you want the delay on your end to be. So this is just setting you know how rollback works. If you set like a small delay for yourself, it's gonna lead to less visual stuttering, but obviously you're playing in a delay. And then you just select one of these slots and then have your homie join the other one, and yeah, you're gaming. All right, pretty easy stuff. Join the Discord, check out the game. I think it's a ton of fun. I can't wait for this game to be fully released. See you in the next one. All right, peace.